Welcome to this YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to talk about top 10 strictest prisons in the world. So before starting this video, please like this video, and subscribe to this channel for our future updates. The only place more dangerous to live than prison is the world outside of it. A quick look at the evening news will convince any viewer that the world is a dangerous place to live. One violent crime is followed by another, and it becomes apparent that human nature has some serious flaws in it. Of course, not everybody feels the need to physically harm another person, but there are too many people who not only feel the compulsion, but embrace it willingly. Because the outside world is dangerous, criminal justice becomes vitally important to a healthy society. Prisons are designed to house criminals, and some prisons are designed specifically for the world's most dangerous criminals. These are the criminals who pose the greatest threat to society. While the hope of any criminal justice system is the reformation of a criminal's character, housing the world's most dangerous criminals together in a prison seems to make a prison's violent atmosphere an inevitability. Added to that are the cruel conditions often created by some of the prison's staffs. The world's most violent prisons are places where criminals fight daily either for their sanity or for their very survival. Here are 10 of what are considered to be the strictest prisons in the world to break out of. Number 1. ADX Florence, United States. Colorado's Penitentiary, ADX Florence, is perhaps the most secure prison the world has ever seen. We're talking about a maximum lockdown jail where it is said that prisoners are lucky if they ever get to see the sun. With a cell that has no direct access, prisoners are locked up the whole day, without any measure that could possibly help them get out. The Supermax unit at USP ADX Florence houses about 400 male inmates, each assigned to one of 6 security levels. It is designed for 490 inmates but has never been at full capacity. The facility is best known for housing inmates who have been deemed too dangerous, too high profile, or too great a security risk for a maximum security prison. For example, Joseph Romano was sentenced to life in federal prison for plotting to murder the judge and federal prosecutor who helped sentence him to 15 years in prison for masterminding a coin fraud operation. While in prison, he plotted to murder an undercover officer who had taken part in the investigation. When this came to light, Romano was transferred to USP ADX Florence. Number 2. Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary, United States. Perhaps one of the most famous prisons on the planet, Alcatraz has housed prisoners like Al Capone, Whitey Bulger and Rafael Miranda. Located on an island 2 kilometers off the shore of San Francisco, only 5 of the 14 prison escape attempts ever made were unaccounted for, who were presumed to be dead. Alcatraz shut down in 1968, but still holds the reputation of being one of the toughest prisons to break out of. You know, swimming's never been a convict's forte. Number 3. La Santé Prison, France. Built in 1867, in the very heart of the national capital, Paris, France's La Santé Prison is one of the most famous prisons in the world, no exaggeration. La Santé is notoriously known for being the prison that once you go to, you're not going to come out of till you come out. Despite its location in the heart of the city, the prison's architecture and security measures are so simple and effective that it is impossible to get out. A few years ago, a couple of hundred prisoners had to figure this out the hard way, when what they thought was a way out of prison, a sewage pipe, was locked down too, and most suffocated to death. That's a shitty death. Number 4. Arthur Road Jail, India. Mumbai's largest and oldest central prison, Arthur Road Jail is no joke. Built in 1926, the facility that was originally designed to house 1,000 prisoners is home to over 2,000 inmates at the moment. But apart from the rundown prison conditions and obvious human rights infringement speculation, no prisoner has ever been known to break out, and no outsider has ever been able to break in. The prison, spanning over 2 acres, was built to be an impenetrable fortress. And it stands till date true to its nature. Number 5. Fuchu Prison, Japan. From the simplest and oldest prisons, let's us move on to one of the most advanced security measures prisons have ever taken. Few details are known about the Fuchu prison in the western region of Tokyo, that has also played host to World War II prisoners in the past. Home to some of the most notorious criminals in Japan, the Fuchu prison has a perfect track record of no escaped prisoners. Well, none yet. There are more advanced security measures here than you can imagine, and Japan doesn't want anyone to know. Number 6. Federal Correctional Complex, United States. Indiana's Federal Correctional Complex is a maximum security prison that employs a minimal number of human personnel. Yet, it is considered one of the most secure prisons in the country. Well, with 30-degree surveillance cameras under a constant, facial recognition, motion sensors, biometric locks, and a fair amount of the shitty luck most convicts have is more than enough reason for them to not need more manpower. I mean, if Ethan Hunt had to go to prison, this one would be it. Number 7. Camp Delta, United States. The prison facility at Camp Delta, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, is one that requires no introduction. Part of the base operated by the American Armed Forces, it is a detainment facility that houses criminals that are considered of highest priority by the US. We're talking about the place where Al-Qaeda suspects were imprisoned and tortured. Up to 12 guards could be assigned to constantly watch over a single prisoner. In fact, let's say you even sneak out of there, you'd step into the middle of a military base. Good luck with that. It is composed of detention camps 1 through 6, Camp Platinum, Camp Iguana, the Guantanamo Psychiatric Ward, Camp Echo and Camp No. The prisoners, referred to as detainees, have uncertain rights due to their location not on American soil. There are allegations of torture and abuse of prisoners. Most of the security forces are US Army military police and US Navy masters at arms. The camps have different amenities and levels of comfort. Detainees are quartered in different parts of Camp Delta, according to their level of cooperation with guards and interrogators, with the exception of newly arriving detainees who always go to maximum security in Camp 3. Number 8. HMP Belmarsh, UK. HM Prison Belmarsh in Greenwich in southeast London is, where Category A prisoners are, as deemed by Her Majesty. Functional as a high-security prison since 1991, Belmarsh holds over 1,000 inmates, which include Britain's most dangerous and violent. The security level at the facility is high enough for it to have been earned the nickname, British Guantanamo. Belmarsh is a category of prison holding prisoners from all over the United Kingdom. In addition, Belmarsh is a local prison, accepting different categories of prisoners from primarily the Central Criminal Court, Old Bailey, and Magistrates' Courts in southeast London. It also serves Crown and Magistrates' Courts in southwest Essex. Accommodation at the prison is a mixture of approximately 60% multi-occupancy cells, and 40% single cells, distributed mainly across 4 residential units. Inmates at Belmarsh are offered access to education, workshops, 2 gyms, 1 focusing on physical education courses and 1 recreational, with use of a sports hall and a fitness room. The gym staff also have a partnership with Charlton Athletic FC to deliver FA-accredited coaching courses for prisoners. A listener scheme for prisoners at risk from suicide or self-harm is in operation at Belmarsh. There is also a support group for foreign national prisoners, providing advice on immigration law. Number 9. Tadmor Military Prison, Syria. Built by the French Mandate forces in the early 20th century, as a military barracks, Tadmor Military Prison in Syria is, now known as one of the hardest prisons to survive in, thanks to its insane human rights violations and abysmal living conditions. As far as breaking out goes, the facility is in the middle of a desert some 200 kilometers northeast of the Syrian capital, Damascus. On top of which the only way to get in or out of the prison is 1 tunnel that you would have to crawl. Which, of course, is highly secure. Number 10. Qincheng Prison, China. Located at 3,000 feet above sea level, deep inside a desolate valley in the Changping district of Beijing lies a facility, with over 5,000 security personnel guarding the most notorious prisoners of the country. Qincheng was built with aid from the Soviet Union in 1958, and was originally used in the detainment of Kuomintang war criminals. The prison boasts of the tallest watchtower in the world, looking over a facility that is surrounded by valleys on all sides. The prison employees are divided into 2 categories and are strictly separated. The first category is the investigation team, which is only responsible for investigate the prisoners' cases, and they are strictly forbidden to venture into prisoners' cells, or any other premises other than the interrogation room. The other category is responsible for guarding the prisoners and taking care of their daily lives. Unlike those belong to the first category, those in the second category could not even know the names of prisoners who are only allowed to be called by their numbers. Prison employees of both categories are strictly forbidden to make any personal connections to the prisoners, such as that they cannot reveal their names to the prisoners, cannot answer any of the prisoners' questions without authorization, and cannot ask any prisoners questions without authorization. What are you going to do when they come for you? What do you think of our list? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.